Hello, my name is Daniel Scuria-Herman, and today I will be speaking on the topic of terror. Now, I was thinking about this list last night, this list of video ideas, because I've got a lot that I haven't done. And as I was going to sleep, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking I didn't really have something planned for today to talk about. So I was thinking, oh, okay, tomorrow I'll look at the list and see if anything jumps out at me. There's a couple of these that I already scripted years ago that I still have yet to get to. And then as I was trying to get to sleep, I laid there awake and this terror gripped me. And I mean terror as in that kind of terror, not the kind of last on the topic of terror. And as I laid there, gripped with this sort of terror, I sort of realized how much of my life is defined by terror. Because it's a stronger force than I gave it credit, and I eventually decided I'm not going to do one of these video ideas, at least not today, and instead talk about what's going on, because I don't know. There are many things I've planned for in my life since like the first grade that I've been planning for the course of my life, and my eyes shot open last night as I laid there terrified, and I just thought, what if I fail? Because yes, I plan on failing, I guess, at some points, but I plan on failing in a recoverable manner. If I fail, absolutely. If I can't write my thesis, if I can't write my first novel, if I can't land my, first steady, real, long-term job, what if I just fail? And that terror just consumed me. It was horrifying. And I don't know, I just didn't know what to do about it, because I don't know. I'm not motivated by fear. I think fear is a lack of motivation, and I would actually argue that the terror comes from a similar place as my lethargy when it comes to my depression, at least. Because when I am going to sleep, that means the effects of the pills I take in the morning that wake me on my antidepressants are wearing off. And once they wear off, I am just gripped with this terror, like I'm coming close to, doom, as I talked about in my, on the topic turning 20 video. And it still hasn't fully set in that I am 20. But that's not to say I don't feel 20. I don't know if I feel a specific age at all. I think if I had to put an age to how I feel, I would say 20, but I don't know if I feel 20, if that makes sense. But regardless of that fact, this sort of terror defines my life, but it doesn't motivate any of the things I do. It's a giant factor in everything. It has a, hand in a lot of pies, but when it comes to how I live my life, I don't think that the terror is part of it, really. I don't know how to phrase it, but eventually the way I got to sleep was I just said to myself, what if I fail? And my eyes were wide open. I was terrified, my heart was beating fast, I was sweating, and then the way I calmed myself down was just, I won't fail. Because failure is just giving up. And I don't plan on giving up on much of anything. I plan on sticking to my plans. I think as long as I continue with what I want to do, I will succeed. I just have to, I guess, narrow my definition of failure and widen my definition of success. Because I think that the concept of failure is part of what brings about failure. If I decide, okay, I wasn't able to complete this in this certain parameters, that's a failure. That's demotivating, and not only that, but the project remains unfinished. In order to not fail, I have to change my definition of failure. And I think I don't know if I had to work on that, because I feel like I've already come to that conclusion, and this is more just a summary of my thoughts of that, I guess, night terror. And how I moved past it. But the only way I fail is if I give up, and I'm not going to give up. I think terror is in a different category from fear, because fear is very abstract. Terror is almost physical. Terror is consuming. Terror is destructive. I don't know. I just wanted to get some thoughts out there. I didn't really form a point, but I really needed to get it off my mind. So, yeah. You guys are really enjoying the A$AP Rock video. I think for the future I should kind of stick to A$AP Rock, because you guys are enjoying that a lot more than my other kind of videos. And I don't have a problem with that, because you guys know what you like. And I think it's irresponsible of me to sort of say, like, well, you should like my other videos. No, I think that you like what you like, and the fact that any of my other videos are getting views is saying something, and is saying progress. I don't view that as failure, I view that as success, because I'm moving forward. I had a conversation with someone recently about how I shouldn't be congratulated on these minor steps in moving towards my goals, because I haven't accomplished anything yet. And I'm not backtracking on that. I genuinely still believe that. I think that so long as I haven't anything to show for myself, then I shouldn't be rewarded. And I think that's still true. But I think I can also not accuse myself of failure wrongfully. Because if I do, then the terror consumes me. Because I can't fail. That's going to be all for me anyway. So, until next time. Adieu.